Okay, so basically this workshop today is on digital storytelling. And so that what I will cover is basically turning a regular paper-based assignment that almost every faculty has, one of these types of paper-based, 500 or 1,000 word papers, and students have to do some research or read a book, and then they have to turn in a paper. And that's very common at the university level. A lot of, or even in high school, where students are assigned these types of papers, and it's very common. And what happens is that students who are taking 4, 5, 6, 7 classes, after a while, you can see it becomes overwhelming, or not also overwhelming, but also that it becomes a very common exercise for students to do. So if you're looking to change up things and mix it up a bit or spice it up a little, a digital storytelling assignment is a great way to convert a paper-based assignment. And one of the great things about a digital storytelling assignment is that students don't feel limited to just writing, right? So let's say if there are certain things a student wants to a story a student wants to tell, the only option is through text, right? Whereas a digital storytelling assignment, there are different types of modalities available to the students: pictures, audio, video. And so this is what we're talking about, different types of modalities. Students will still have to do the research. They still have to do the work, the readings, and et cetera. But then now what they take that information, that knowledge, and it becomes more of an authentic type of assessment. Authentic meaning the students now have the stage and they have to tell you what they know. They have to explain to you, this is, okay, let me show you what I know. And that's what I mean by an authentic type of assessment, in a way that the student actually has to speak it out in words. They have to narrate, or put their voice over the video and the slides or the images. And that's what we're talking about. Now, the question that comes right away when I talk about digital storytelling assignment, not the question, but you know, the biggest red flag is, how are my students going to create a video if they have no experience? And that's really the obstacle of this whole challenge, is the technological aspect of it. It could be daunting for a student with zero experience in producing a video. And when I first attempted a digital storytelling assignment, I was at Columbia, and I would have to go into the classroom and eat up an hour or 2 hours of the time spent on teaching students how to use iMovie, how to splice, edit, insert visual aids to a video. And it takes up a lot of time. And it's not only that, but it takes away from the main goal, which is the learning, right? If you're spending more, a big chunk of the time on teaching these students on how to do the technological aspects, it just eats up too much of time and it's not worth it. So for a good time, I stopped doing it. And recently I came across new technology that simplifies the whole process of producing a video. And then I came back to the digital storytelling assignment, and now I've been doing it here at FIT for about 3 to 4 years with great results from students. The feedback that I've gotten, not only from myself, but also from faculty members who have tried it, are the students love it. They enjoyed it. This is so much better. It's a breath of fresh air, fresh new, something different, creative. These are some of the buzzwords from the feedback that we get from students. It's just a breath of fresh air, and it's not the same old, here we got to write another paper again. Whereas some classes have 4 to 5 papers. Now, I'm not taking away from writing. Writing is a very important skills that obviously students need to uh, be good at as they move on to their professional careers. So I'm not taking anything away from writing. I'm just saying, you know, if you have 5 papers, reconsider maybe one of them could be a digital storytelling assignment. And a lot of faculty here have even made the midterm and a final into a digital storytelling assignment. Okay, so that was my little intro in what a digital storytelling assignment could be for you. I'm going to show you all the resources that we have built. I've been working with faculty across the board from all different departments who are using it at FIT, and together we've come across resources so that it's become a repository. So for anybody can use any of these materials to deploy this assignment in the classroom. So let me get my screen ready. So as I share with you all some of those resources, any questions about digital storytelling that you may have, as I was just describing giving my intro of digital storytelling? Any questions or ideas or comments about it?
Nope.
Or anybody have tried it before in the classroom?
I've used Padlet.
Nope. Okay, that's fine. Here we go. So let me share my screen as you guys are thinking about ideas or comments. Okay, so here's my screen. And so as you can see, I've built this resource, and I give credit to all faculty who have contributed to this process or this project. And I love to break silos. So these are people coming from, this is a person coming from our history department, Lorenza Smith. I have another person from the art history department. I mean, you'll see people from all different departments working on this. I'm going to share the link to this document, and I will put the link in the chat room so that you guys can click on it and follow along, not only to follow along, but also for you to use if you choose to do a digital storytelling assignment in the future. So let me just put this in the chat room. And if you click on it, it will open up in a Google document. So if you go here at the bottom right-hand corner and you click on this little bubble or the comment bubble, then you'll see this link to my Google Doc. And once you click on it, it will take you here. Perfect. I see that I see Karen and Peter have joined. Okay, so this is the layout. And again, if you're teaching this in a face-to-face class, it's easier because then you can spend some time explaining to the students of the steps required. But if you're teaching this in an online class, obviously you know that you don't have the luxury of being there with your students face to face, answering the questions and explaining them these steps. So what I've done here is these steps can easily be copied and you can paste this into your Blackboard course with all the information for your students. So the first step usually, now some of these steps might not apply to you. So again, this is designed for you to pick and choose and customize. So it's very flexible in that sense. So the first step is obviously, in most cases, students have to choose an artist or an architect, right? So here is a sample instructions for that, just on that. Students have to choose an artist among the ones not covered in the units of this course. The artist or the architect has to be European and active between the 13th and 18th centuries, early or very early 19th centuries. I won't accept any submissions that does not follow these requirements. Write your name and the name of the architect. So this goes on, but what I want to show you is then the next step is the students have to choose the topic. And so what we've done for this part is we've created a Google document where the student, so it could be a Google Doc where it's a list, student puts his or her name, and then next to the name is the topic. And this is, this will be the link. You click on this link and it will open up in the Google Doc, right? And then you can then either say yes, thumbs up, or thumbs down. Maybe the student picks somebody that who's not, is not appropriate, and then you would say to the student, well, this you choose somebody else because somebody has this already, or we didn't cover this topic, or this person is not from the criteria mentioned here between the 13th and 18th centuries. So therefore, that would be the first step, is approving these topics. Any questions about step one? Is everyone familiar with creating a Google document that is shared with your students?
Yes.
Yeah,
No?
yeah, I'm
Okay, I'll
okay.
take that as a yes. Everyone's familiar
Yes.
with creating a Google document and sharing that with your students. Then we have step two. And what we've done with step two is that part of teaching students how to create the video. And as I mentioned in my introduction, creating videos is not everybody's thing. Even though we are at a school that's very creative students and visual arts and and animation, there might be one or two students who have never touched or have never created a video or ever touched a video editing suite. So what I've done is I've created this video so the students have to watch the video tutorial. And this tool is Adobe Spark. Well, it was known as Adobe Spark. Now it's known as Adobe Express. And when Adobe Express came out, it was a game changer, because what Adobe did was they took all their high level applications like Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, Dreamweaver, all the high level applications. And what Adobe did was it made them easy to use for the novice. And that's what Adobe Express is basically the little brother or the little sister of Photoshop, Illustrator, Adobe Premiere. So anyone with zero background experience in creating video or Photoshop skills can easily open up Adobe Express and begin creating amazing visuals, graphics, and videos. And with FIT, we as an Adobe school, all faculty and students received a free account with Adobe. And so we're very privileged to have this perk. And so why not use it for an assignment, right? So when the students click on this link, it takes them to my YouTube video that I explained to students, I think about 10 or 13 minutes. Let me see, it's about 12 minutes. So I was able to cut down what I normally would do at Columbia for like an hour and a half, teaching them how to create this video from cutting it down from an hour and a half to about 12 minutes, which is amazing, right? To be able to do that. Because again, at the end of the day, the focus is not the technology, it's really the research, the learning, right? At the end of the day, the students still have to create a video and explain to the class that they know what they're talking about. They know about the subject matter and they're able to present to the whole classroom. So this is my video. It's a 12-minute video. It covers everything from where to find the link to where to pick where in Blackboard is the link to the video, and then I show them how to log into Adobe Spark using their FIT account. So they're not using the free account, they're actually using the pro account. So they have to use their FIT email address and password. Then I show them how to get to the video, where to go to create the video, how to give the title to their video. Then there are many different templates for them to choose, but I usually show them to go from scratch. Then I show them how to put put the visual aids on the screen by clicking this plus sign and uploading their photos or putting text or video to their presentation. And then lastly, I show them how to record their voice for their video. And then from there, Adobe Spark or Adobe Express, I should say Adobe Express because they did a brand name. They changed their brand from Adobe Spark to Express. So I'm getting used to the new name, which is Adobe Express. So it's very much like PowerPoint. It's just that this will convert it into a video with all the fancy transitions, all the cool animation. And then once the student is done with their video, they click publish and it presents them with a link to the video. So what the students will then do is they copy the link that was generated by Adobe Express. And now the students have to submit the link to the exhibition board, right? So now we have to create an exhibition board. So now let me show you the next step, right? So now the students already have the topic. They chose the topic, is confirmed by the professor. Then they did the research. Then they recorded. Well, you know, they gathered they gathered images and statistics and data and everything. Then they record their voiceover. Now they have to submit the video to the exhibition board. Now, there's many different ways that you can create an exhibition board. But for this assignment, what I like to use is Padlet. And if you're not familiar with Padlet, our last workshop that we did, was it a week ago, was basically on Padlet. And we talked about the different 7 templates that are in Padlet. And one of the templates that we talked about was the shelf template. As you can see here, it says shelf, the shelf template. And so we can create an exhibition board so that all the students will submit their video into the Padlet. And that will make it easier for you because on one Padlet, you will have all your student submissions all in one place, making it easier for you to see who did the work, who hasn't done the work. Not only for that, but also for students to promote social learning amongst your students so they can see and leave feedback for the other students, right? They can leave their own comments. They can watch, you know, everyone else's presentations or videos. Here, what I have is, this is really important because I think this is great. Here are some more instructions, right? So how long should the video be, right? And we don't want these videos to be longer than 5 minutes. So what we aim for is between 4 to 5 minutes. Now, these instructions might not fit your subject matter or your assignment type, but for example, here, the professor wants them to include at least 15 images and we'll focus on 3 or 4 works. It's also recommended for the student to add a very soft musical background to make it look like if you're a YouTuber, right? So I also cover this in the video tutorial. I talked to the student, I explained to them, you know, if you are going to add music, make sure that it's subtle and it's in the background. It doesn't want to overpower your narrative, your voiceover. It should be just to help you with the pacing of the video. Like if you're going more documentary type style, you know, nice soft music in the background. Speak fluidly and audibly with lively intonation. When narrating your slides with Adobe Spark, make sure to. So these are all little instructions. Like don't stop recording after you're done with a full sentence, and then give yourself half a second before you stop the recording so it doesn't cut you off. Right? That's the last thing you want is your voice to get cut off as you're recording your voiceover. And
Jose?
And so yeah, so then divide your
Would you like to
presentation
hear
into
me?
3 main parts: the introduction, the core, and then the conclusion, right? So these all instructions are great for the student. Any questions so far on the instructions that I have here?
Jose,
Anyone?
Jose, are you able to hear
Or
me?
ideas or comments?
Jose, are you able to hear me?
No? Okay, I will continue on.
Jose?
This section of the
Jose?
instructions, I give credit to Nancy Eder, who's
Jose?
another professor at
Yeah,
FIT.
I don't think you can hear.
She titles
I don't
this
think you can
assignment
hear it.
mini
Is it something?
documentaries, right? So she has her students
Wow.
with more of a historical
Karen,
approach
she can hear you?
into Japanese culture
Oh, that's a
as
good
mini
idea.
documentaries that students have to create. And
Okay.
here, for example, she outlines the available topics for students to choose from, right? So students will have to pick either from K-pop, Osaka street fashion versus Tokyo street fashion. So you know, she creates an outline of different topics that students can choose from. And the same applies, right? Here's a link to the Google Doc where then the students will put their names and the topic. Then they will watch the video tutorial on Adobe Spark, how to use it. Very straightforward, easy to use. And what I also do is I make myself available to the students. On my video there, I include my email address. If the students encounters any issues or technical issues with Adobe Express, they can email me and I help them. The only reason why I do this is because I normally do not get swamped, because usually it's very basic questions that I get from students. You know, and usually most of the time they email me and they go, "Oh, I figured it out," you know, so it's really not an issue.
Jose?
So I'm not afraid to put my email out there, and
Jose?
I'm not afraid
Hello?
of getting swamped because I'm very
We can hear
confident
you, brother.
that the technology here is easy and straightforward. That students are not going to all, you know, bombard me with questions. It's easily picked up by watching just a 12-minute video. Okay, so now let me give you, oh, by the way, here is a rubric that could be attached to this assignment. And now this I give credit to Nancy also, because now you can actually speed up the grading process with the rubric, right? And so feel free to use a rubric or customize it and make it your own if you like. I'm a big believer in rubrics. I'm a believer that students will perform better when they see what it is that you're looking for or what it is that is required of them. And once they see a rubric and they identify the grading structure and also what are you looking for, I believe that students who do pay attention to the rubrics will produce higher quality material. Now, for the instructor side, a rubric will tremendously speed up the grading process. It will save you tremendous amount of time if you do use a rubric. I do have workshops on rubrics. I'm not going to go deep into rubrics in this workshop, but if you do have questions about rubrics, I'll be happy to answer those, or I will send you to my rubric video, how-to video on how to use rubrics in Blackboard. I'm also getting ready for rubrics when we move over to Brightspace. That will be our next learning management system coming soon, and I think it's fall 2023. Now, I haven't shown you student examples. These are students who have allowed me and the instructor to use their video as examples. So let me show you this one first. These are actual FIT students who have gone through the process of this digital storytelling assignment. And, you know, I think these videos are awesome. So I just wanted to share them with you so you can get a taste of how creative these students can be. And also the fact that this was done from a 12-minute video, tutorial on how to create this. And so the return on investment is huge, and the students love it. All right, so here we go. Let me just show you this this one. This is on the history of bridal mending. I hope this video is still on YouTube, but let's double check. Let's see if it opens up. Oh, here we go. Yes. So you see, this is not going to YouTube. This is going directly into Adobe Spark or Adobe Express, right? This is coming directly from Express, as you can see the URL. All right, so let me go ahead and click play. Maximize the screen.
Documentary will explore the ancient history of bridal mending in India, a long-standing tradition that is still used today in pre-bridal ceremonies in many countries. Bridal mending is an important artistic tradition in Indian culture and a vital part of the marital preparations for brides-to-be. Mehendi, also known as mehandi and henna, is a paste made from the leaves of a henna plant. Mehendi is derived from the Sanskrit word meaning.
Can everyone hear that?
Jose,
Yes. Hi.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I just want to let you know that you should take a look at the chat room. There were some people that couldn't join us immediately, and we've been trying to ask some questions of you, and I don't think you heard it before. So,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
it's
I am so
okay.
sorry.
Probably a Blackboard issue, I guess.
Yes, it could be. It could be. I know that there's been updates with Blackboard Collaborate, so maybe that's what's happening. I see Peter was.
Yeah, and Patricia,
No.
and I think Martin was the other person that had trouble joining us initially.
Oh. Oh. Well, oh, there you are. I see. Okay, I see Patricia and Martin. Oh, you were in another room. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I am recording this, and I can stay another half hour after if it's okay, if you have the time. If not, no, I don't hear you, Patricia, but I can see your comments. So I think it might be something due to the update. I know there was an update with Blackboard Collaborate, and also I know Google had a major update. So something might be going on with the microphones. My apologies. Yes, and I will stay after 3 o'clock. Thank you, Martin. Yes, Martin. I would love to have you talk because I think you've done the digital storytelling assignment in your class, so maybe I can help you troubleshoot, Patricia. I can help you troubleshoot once I finish up with the presentation. Because I think it might be updating Google Chrome. I'm sorry about that. It might be updating Google Chrome, or it might be another reason. It might be also the permission settings on your microphone. But let me continue because I know that I can stay a little longer after this and I don't want to keep anybody who might have to leave at 3 o'clock. But yes, I would love to have Martin or Patricia speak because I think Martin also has used this. I would love to hear also from a professor who has used digital storytelling assignment in the classroom, and just to talk about his experience using it in the classroom and what students what students thought of it. Okay. Karen, was the video showing correctly when I was playing it? Were you able to hear?
Yes, it
Everything
was.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, okay.
This was
Okay.
fun.
I'm not sure you can hear me, Jose. But,
Oh, yes, Martin, I can hear you.
okay, yeah. So, yeah, we were hearing you clearly. My only handicap right now is that my wife is having, a Zoom call, and we're in the same room. So I'll be speaking low, but I'll be happy to share my experience.
Sure.
Are
Let me show one
Are
more.
you able to hear me now?
Oh yes, there you are, Patricia.
Oh my God.
Yay! We got everybody.
Wasn't that weird?
Uh,
Oh, wow.
That's strange. I don't know what's going on because I had several
yeah.
people, another person with the same problem earlier.
Really?
Um,
Well,
but I don't know what's going
yes,
on.
I think I said to Peter, is that yeah, maybe it's partly because we're not going to be using them again. Maybe I don't
they're,
know. Is that
they're
too
getting
negative?
rid of it. Let me share, Patricia, let me share with you and Martin the link to this document that you can use as a resource if you're interested in using the digital storytelling assignment. Let me paste this link into the chat rooms.
Would appreciate that.
Sure, there you go. Okay. And again, like I said, this resource is a compilation from faculty at FIT who have worked on this project, and you know, in breaking those silos that we can work together from even though we're from different departments. It's a great idea. We can all work together and work and and contribute and share ideas on different assignments and help each other out. So in here, all the steps are covered, as you can see, like I mentioned before, from the beginning to the end of the project. And feel free to copy this material, make it your own, and include it if you are looking to use this type of assignment for your class. One more video I wanted to share with you all is this one. I thought this was pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's this one or this one. I can't remember. But let me try this one. I think it's this one. This is fascinating. It fascinates me to see these students. You know, when they finish a video. Oh, okay. So this is sorry. This is my example of the exhibition board, right? So we talked about, well, students are creating their videos, but the exhibition board, there has to be a place for them. There has to be a place for the students to post those videos. And what we did here is, and this builds upon last week's workshop, which was on Padlet. And we talked about how to create a shelf template. How to use the shelf template in Padlet to create an exhibition board with students' names at the top, right? So here we have Tom, Mary, Sally, and Joe. And what the students would do is they would scroll from left to right. They would find their name. And under their name, there's a plus sign. The students will click on the plus sign. Let me copy a video so I can demonstrate. So in this case, let me copy my student video tutorial. And so let me just copy the link by going to YouTube, click on the share button, and then copy the link to the video. And then the student will go back into the Padlet over here, find the name. Right under the name is the plus sign. They click on the plus sign. And we click on the link icon, which is this one right here, the third from the left is the link icon. And when they click on that, then it says paste or type link here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm on a Mac, so it's Command V, but if you're on a PC, it would be Control V to paste. So there I have the link that I copied from YouTube, and then I paste the link here, and then I click on the right arrow. This is all explained to the students in the video tutorial that I set up for them. So you don't have to even talk about any of this to them because it's already covered in the video tutorial that I created for your students. Once I hit the little arrow, then you have a preview button here of the video. At the top is the subject header, and here the students can type their name or my George Washington mini documentary. mini doc. And then I might want to put my name in here so the professor, I mean, I don't have to put my name because remember we set up the name at the top. So there's no need for the students to put their names. And also, if you embed the Padlet correctly, it will put the student name on there automatically. Is there a question
No, thank
or
you.
comment? Oh, I thought I heard. Okay, and then from here, also the student has a space at the bottom for them to write additional, you know, if the student wants to add a message to the professor or write something extra, they can do so here at the bottom. So extra space for, you know, students to write. And then once the student is happy with their post, then they would click on the hot pink. Remember when we covered last week on the Padlet, we were talking about Padlet and how Padlet is so it's intuitive. Anywhere that you have to go for the next step, it's in a hot pink. So it's very easy for students to know what is the next thing they have to do because it's always color coded and it's in hot pink, right? So I know I have to click on publish. And so now, as you can see, my post is up. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that it's like your refrigerator door. That was the analogy I used last week, was Padlet becomes the refrigerator door where everybody pins something to the front of the refrigerator with a magnet. And that means that the whole family or the whole class can see what's on the refrigerator door, right? And we can all leave another comment for somebody else. Because remember, if it's an online class, people are in and out. Not everybody is looking at the same material at the same time because it's asynchronous, right? So if you're teaching an online class, an exhibition board like this, it's excellent because as students come and go, they can see the video, they can see the comments, they can comment on each other, and also is that they can learn. This is promoting social learning because now I can go to this student and click on play, and now I can watch this person's presentation by simply clicking it here, and it opens up full screen.
Hi, this is Samantha Ray, and today we're going to talk about the script forms of Marumoji and Gyarumoji and their use as a form of rebellion against feminine ideals in Japanese society. But before we can really analyze these scripts in context, we need to go into a very brief overview of Japanese calligraphy and the Japanese writing system. The Japanese art of calligraphy, known as shodo, dates back to around the 6th century, when it was introduced from China. However, despite its Chinese origins, Japanese calligraphy began to develop its own tradition as it adapted to use with Japanese script, and the art form became closely linked to Zen Buddhism. The tradition of Zen calligraphy is a way of bearing one's emotions and is seen as providing a path to enlightenment. The modern Japanese writing system.
So you see how she has subtle music in the background. It's not overpowering her speech. She is talking a little bit too fast for me, and I think that's because she has a lot to cover. But you know, and Patricia, who teaches
And not supporting where she got her information from.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, and that's an excellent point. Excellent point. Thank you, Patricia, for bringing that because that's another thing you can do with the Padlet is here at the bottom is the bibliography, right? So then here now the student has to attach sources cited, and now this is coming from a Google document that can be linked. Or Word document. It could be either Google Doc, Word doc. Now this is a citation. So not only are you getting the student's video. Let me go back. Not only are you getting the video here, but you're also getting any documentations that you require of the student could be attached also here. But Patricia, though,
Could you put a rubric down there?
You can also. Yes, yes, you can attach the rubric.
Since
Yes,
they're
that's a great
discussing
idea.
rubrics in that SUNY
Yeah.
workshop.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And we were covering rubrics before you jumped in. We talked
Oh,
a little bit about.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, no, no. It's good. It's good that you mentioned it because again, we talked about it, it, speeding the grading process for the professor, but only for the not only that, for the student, they're able to see what is it that you're looking for, right?
Mhm.
If they actually open the rubric before they begin the assignment. And also it helps students say, well, professor, why did I get an 84? You can say, well, look at the rubric. The rubric explains everything. You don't have to really, you know, argue with the student. They just go ahead, look at the rubric. The rubric will tell you why you got a B. But I wanted to bring up Patricia because Patricia teaches, speech, and so as you heard the student speaking, it was a little quick. It was pretty fast, right? And I think that would have been a way to improve the student would have been to kind of slow down a little bit because one of the things
Pause,
we
breathe,
pause, breathe.
head off to the next idea.
Right, right. But you see, this is the hardest. This is why I love this assignment, and it's because students find it very difficult when you give them a time constraint. Let's say the video presentation has to be 5 minutes. A lot of students do not understand how to deliver an elevator speech without going into all the extra, all the fluff, right? How do I get straight to the point? And so when students aren't able to do that, what they do is they'll speed up and start talking fast, and they try to fit everything in those 5 minutes, and then that's what you get with this presentation that we just watched. It was way too fast for me. I was having trouble keeping up with her because she's talking so fast. um, but this is a soft skill that I think I'm seeing now a lot of students are not being taught in high school is that soft skill of being able to deliver an elevator speech quickly and with all the important things that you need to say in a short amount of time. And it's an amazing skill to obtain once you are in the professional world because then you can articulate your thoughts whenever at any moment, right? At any moment you can just whip it out and just be able to in 2 minutes explain yourself and your ideas. And I think that's a valuable skill that comes along with this assignment. Yeah. And Patricia, I mean, you and I were talking about this a while ago. It was that book, Brief. It's another great example. Brief is a book that just talks about that, right? Being able to develop that soft skill of being able to articulate your thoughts as a student or anyone, anyone in general, just to be able to articulate what's on your mind and not have to go through all the long-winded, just go straight to the point, just say really what you mean without using big words, and you can just express yourself. It's a challenge, and this is why I love this assignment because it gives that student that challenge and say, well, not only do you have 5 minutes in total, every slide is limited actually. You can limit the recording per slide to I think it's 30 seconds or is it 60 seconds? I forget. I think Martin, if you remember,
I
you can
think
help
it's
me.
30. I think it's 30 seconds. Yes.
30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Martin, you want to talk about your experience running this assignment in your classroom?
Sure. So, good day, everyone. So I've been using Adobe Spark for the past year or so, and I've had good experiences. The students have had good experiences with it, and I will definitely continue next semester. And one of the things I would say from the onset is that it's important to introduce the the final project very early so that students can begin to scaffold, and that's what I have been doing. So from the start of the class, I introduced the whole idea of the final project and have students begin to think about you know, where they can plug in information along the way. Um, I could share some of the results. I have been using Adobe Spark and Padlet in conjunction with each other. So I will share my screen now. So entire screen. It's telling me access is denied, Jose. So I don't know.
Sure.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Now I can do it. Yeah. So this is my collection for the final project. The last.
We don't see your screen, Martin.
You don't see my screen. No. Let's see. It's share screen. Entire screen, and I'm hitting share. Are you seeing it now? So I think it's the same problem that we've been having.
It might be the
Yeah,
same
I think there's an
yeah.
issue. Yeah. But in any case, you know, so the students are very, you know, they've been all very happy with it. I've gotten some really good, I would say, like rigorous, you know, final presentations. Topics range from LGBTQ issues in the Caribbean to Caribbean music, particular individuals, particular Caribbean figures like, you know, Dr. Eric Williams, particular countries that were focused on, and so on. I don't know if you have a specific question, Jose, but I think the key issue is to like really introduce the final the presentation very early, and also there is a script, as Jose was pointing out, bibliography that comes with my particular assignment. And there's a rubric that students can use both as a guide and for me to, you know, to evaluate students' performance.
Yeah. Any questions for Martin? Anybody wants to?
I had a question about rubrics per se. I hear you say, Martin, that you let the students see that, which I think is a great idea, but when you are, how does the rubric show up in Padlet when you are actually using it, or is it connected to Blackboard, or how does that work?
Oh, I have I'm sorry I can't share it, but I have a I have it on a separate tab, separate link, because I couldn't find a way to use it in Padlet as such. So I have the rubric separate.
I see.
I don't know if that answers your question. Yeah.
It
And
does.
yeah. Jose
Yeah.
and I work together on the rubric, but it's also from the template provided by the other professor, Jose. I forgot her name right now.
Oh, it must have been Nancy Eder. Yes, Professor Eder.
Yeah, Nancy. Yeah. So I modified it. Worked with Jose to finally tailor it to my particular needs.
Yes. Also, Patricia here, she also uses a rubric, but in a different way. If you still like for the students to submit the paper or the video through a Dropbox assignment, you can attach the rubric to the assignment, and that's another way you can do it, because obviously you cannot attach the rubric to the Padlet, but you can attach the rubric to the column in the Blackboard gradebook. That will work if you want to do it that way.
Or in the comments
Or
of the grading
Right.
section.
Right.
Is that yes? Okay.
right through the Dropbox assignment, right, Patricia? That's what you're
Yes,
referring?
yes.
Yes.
But Jose, so are you, just so I'm clear, you're saying that if you're grading it You have the rubric. You can attach that to the comments in the Blackboard column. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I've done that before. That would work. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Patricia, oh no, I was just telling Patricia that I'm just inserting the link, so maybe that can work.
Oh, perfect.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Martin, if you want, I can share the screen. I'm able to share the
Oh
screen.
yeah. Yeah,
let me-
totally.
Oh, this is great, actually. This is great. Let's do this. Yes, I love this. This is an actual. You know what? Let me stop the recording.
That's what I found I had to do in my public speaking course a lot, is that they had to put the link in my chat, and then I was able to demonstrate it, but they
Access it.
couldn't.
Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
interesting.
that helps.
Oh wait, where did it go?
I think if you go back, yeah,
I'll do it again.
and,
Sorry.
yeah, go back to the chat.
I have too many tabs open.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, look at this. This is fully populated. This is amazing.
Yeah. Except for one student that submitted it. Otherwise, everyone was able to do it without any difficulty, really.
Oh, that's my country.
Yeah, yeah. The Dominican Republic is pretty popular in Caribbean studies.
Here's another one. Yeah.
Yeah, Ashley submitted hers by email because she was having some problems.
Okay. I love, Martin, that you have here, as we discussed, we have the video, but then also the script.
The script, yeah, that's a requirement. And the script also includes a bibliography.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's great.
So it's getting better. Every year that I do it, I find better ways to communicate it to the students and to to develop an architecture of presenting the information.
And this is what's great because we build upon, right? So when you start building something new and then you share with others, as you continue to make it a better assignment, it grows, right? It grows from there.
Right. And now I'm going to be focusing more on rigor. It's an elective, so you don't want to like stress students too much. But I believe that there can be a bit.
They've elected to take it, so you probably have a better average there than the one that doesn't require it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find a way to not find a way, but I'm going to be trying to push them a little bit further.